Well, I had been teaching, and that part of my career ended. I ended up coming back to Hutchinson and needed a place to stay. I had been staying in one of the local motels, but that was kind of expensive. Had to charge that and then pay it off slowly, and that was kind of difficult. But then I was referred to New Beginnings through a mutual friend. I was able to get in over there at 2nd and Monroe, and a very nice spot to be, especially when I had no other place to go. While I was there, finding employment and then having a car, I was able to get a car along the way, and that kind of thing, just gradually building on what I knew life ought to be like for me. And it hadn't been that way since I moved back to Hutchinson. It gives me more insight into the workings. It's a uphill climb trying to understand all of the terminology. LLC, I had to ask an attorney friend what an LLC is. I just did not yet know some of those things. I've met some people that I have heard about in the community. I have known some of their families for a long time, but didn't know any of them, simply because I used to work for one of the grocery stores here, and I carried out groceries for their mothers when back in the 70s. It is interesting to see the levels that you have. The Noel Lodge, from there on up to nice, much nicer places, not just an overnight spot. I've been able to enjoy now 3 locations that you all have, and I've just moved as needed. Granted, there was a limit of time over there at Fox Run, and then I moved when my time limit was up, and then I needed to move for some health reasons from Tierra Verde, and so now I'm at the Lofts. There are lives that can be enriched, can be stabilized. As I have talked with other members on the board, I've seen somebody go through some of the different levels. Even at Walnut Court, I've seen someone I knew as a child. When I was teaching, he was there in the school in which I was teaching, and he's come through the work training and the living there and such, and I think he's finding that he can do some things. He's just needed some encouragement. He's needed the stability. He's needed somebody to retrain him. He had been trained in one skill, but needed some others to be more valuable in his community, so that he could have an option of what he went into. That there were people in town willing to step up and help those that couldn't help themselves at that time, and that they could not necessarily count on them, but know that somebody was there and that somebody cared. There are individuals that have no family. There are individuals that have nobody to talk to turn to for advice. And to be able to come into a situation like New Beginnings offers gives so many of them a hope that there is a different life than living on the streets.